Hello, and welcome to another episode of my 30+ Decks. Today I'm going to be doing one that I guess I was going through my list and I didn't realize that I hadn't done it. Oh, come on, zoom. Bam. Arixmethes, Slumbering Isle. So this is a 4-cost, so 2, a blue and a green, Simic, which is one of my favorite color pairs, for a 12/12 Kraken. 4-cost for a 12/12 Kraken, which sounds gross. Which it is, but enters the battlefield tapped with 5 slumber counters on him. As long as he has a slumber counter on him, he is an island, so he's not a creature. And whenever I cast a spell, I may remove a slumber counter from him. Now that is a May ability. I have seen the Game Nights Live episode where Josh Lee Kwai intentionally did not make it a creature because he knew that there was removal. It was going to be instantly removed, so there can be strategic times to not remove the final counter. But in this deck, I'm just going to be removing him. And then finally, it can tap for a blue and a green, since it's a land. And the basics of this deck is trying to get him out, cast a bunch of small things. The small things are ramp pieces, and then ramp into big things. All of the big things are Krakens, Leviathans, Serpents, and Octopus. I actually can't think of many Octopus besides the Eldrazi one. Either way, those are just kind of a typo in Magic because there's a number of cards that are return all creatures to their owner's hands except for Krakens, Leviathans, Serpents, and Octopus. So that's kind of the basics of the deck. This is my only deck that I own that has an Omniscience, and the main reason for that is I have a Serpent called Denizen of the Deep, and he has an entry effect to return all other creatures I control to my hand, or their owner's hand. And with an Omniscience, that actually becomes a good thing. I can just return all of these guys and then keep on casting them, keep on getting cast or entry effects to trigger, and it goes off. Let's see if I can show you guys. So I've already got my hand ready, and I think that I'm ready to just jump right in. Turn 1, draw. Here we go, it's going to be land. Turn 2, draw. And that will go island, tap 2 for an Ornithopter of Paradise. Go to turn 3, tap upkeep, draw. I think that I will go with something like green and 1, and I will cast Evolution Charm. This one says either search my library for a basic land, reveal it, put it in my hand, then shuffle, return target creature, or return target creature from my graveyard to my hand, or target creature gains flying until the end of turn. I will just search for a basic forest, I will put it into my hand, and then that will be my land that I play this turn. I will be shuffling. There we go, shuffle and cut. And let's go to turn 4. Nope, not turn 4. Let's go 1 and a green. There we go. Nightshade Dryad. There we go. Turn 4. Now I could have gone to turn 4 just to get out Arixmethes and then have him as one of my cheap spells to get him ramped down to a creature, or ramped up to a creature, however that works. Bring the counters down. That was untap. I have not drawn, so let's draw. Land. Let's tap blue, green, and 2 for Arixmethes. Enters the battlefield tapped with 5 slumber counters on him. He is technically a land, so I'll have him down here for now. And then I will tap these 2 for blue and 1, key to the vault, and on cast I will remove a counter from Arixmethes. Now this does leave me wide open. That's okay. Turn 5. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to work with. I think that I might just go with 7. So 1, 2, 3. That's a green and 2. Garruk's Uprising. When it enters, I do not control a creature with power 4 or greater, so I don't draw a card from that. Creatures I control have trample, and whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters, I draw a card. I will then tap a green, and 1, 2, 3, and I will cast Monstrous Vortex. Whenever I cast a creature spell with power 5 or greater, I discover X, where X is that spell's mana value. Now, I technically could have gotten Monstrous Vortex before casting Arixmethes, and that would have triggered for a Discover 4. He is still a creature spell, even though he's a land on the battlefield. Either way, that's 2 spells, so that will be 2 more removal of counters. So Arixmethes only has 2 counters left. Let's go to turn 6. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. More land. Okay. I will tap 3 and cast Lifecrafter's Bestiary, removing a counter from Arixmethes. That is, on upkeep I scry 1, and whenever I cast a creature spell, I may pay a green. If I do, I draw a card. And then that will be green and 2. Casting Nature's Embrace. Enchant creature or land. I will be enchanting Arixmethes because he is a creature, or he is a land and then going to be turning into a creature. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets +2/+2. As long as the enchanted permanent is a land, it has tap to add 2 mana of any one color, and it's perfect for this deck. I honestly really like that enchantment. On cast, I target Arixmethes, and then I also remove the counter, and then it resolves onto Arixmethes. Now he is a 14/14 creature. He has been out for a number of turns, so he does not have summoning sickness. So I can just swing with 14 if I really want to. But I think that what I'm actually going to do is instead I guess I don't want to keep myself open, because I could tap him for 2 and then use that for the 3rd to equip Key to the Vault onto Arixmethes. But that doesn't sound great. So instead I'm just going to pass the turn. In my hand I do have a Void Slime, so I can hold up Void Slime. And let's go to turn 7. It'll be an untap, upkeep, yes, I've got to, and then I'll draw that. That is cool. It's not perfect, but I'm gonna do it. Blue, 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 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Casting Blue Sun's Zenith. I draw, its target player draws X cards, I draw 6 cards, and then I shuffle this card back into my library. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this will get shuffled back in. Oop. I just dropped a card. That was my bad. Oh. And I got it. Which means that it needs a little bit more shuffle, but that's alright. Now this sadly will be the last of the turns, but let me see just all of what I can do. I have not played a land, so I got a land. And it pretty much would have just been a cool next turn. I have Arachnoform, so target creature gets +2/+2 reach and is every creature type. So if I did one of those things like a Whelming Wave where I return all creatures except for Krakens, Leviathans, Serpents, and Octopus, then I can just make one creature like an Ornithopter of Paradise an exception. Void Slime, which you saw. Mystic Confluence, which I would probably do to draw 3 cards. I could also counter and then draw 2 cards, something like that. Elderdeep Fiend is an Eldrazi Octopus, I mentioned him earlier. Denizen of Deep, I mentioned him earlier. Yeah, so these are just all cards and then another land. All cards that could have been cast. Like, for example, I could have put everything into an Elderdeep Fiend, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could have cast Denizen into the Deep, and then it would have been Manifest. No, not Manifest. Discover 8, because he's an 11/11. He's a 4 greater power creature, so I draw a card. And all in all, that would have just been cool. Let's just go one more game. See if I can get it to pop off. Just a little bit better. Because it's definitely did good. I think that it just drew a little bit too late, which, that's pretty much like if I had cast a Life Crafter's Bestiary a little bit earlier, but that's just kind of nitpicking a little bit too much. All right. No, I'd still say that was a good practice. Good test. Let's just shuffle up one more time and go one more little test. Little goldfish. Big goldfish, because it's big fish. Oh, it's a kraken. That's not even a fish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Big water thing. 1 land. Sadly, I cannot go with a 1 land hand. Let's go something like this. And it's mostly shuffled, so I'll only shuffle it a little bit. And just one more quick one. There we go. Let's see how this does. Wow. Can't go with that one either. Oh, that happens. It's definitely not the first time that I've seen it, but jeez. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Land, 2 land. A little bit to do, but I guess it's not perfect, but I think that I'll run with it. Yeah. Let's go. Draw. Land. Tap. Or pass. Turn 2 is another land. Turn 3. 3rd land. No ramp is killing me. I can still go blue-green at 1 for Nissa, Steward of Elements. I will have her enter with a single loyalty counter. I will +2 and scry 2. And I think I'm okay with that, yeah. Let's go to turn 4. Untap, upkeep, draw. That will be an island, and I'll tap 4, casting Arixmethes, entering tapped with 5 slumbering counters. I will +2 again, scry 2 again, and I will go like that. Actually, no. I think that is fine. I've been missing a land drop, but I think it'll be fine. I got Arixmethes out, so let's go to turn 5. Untap, upkeep, draw. That will be 2, so green and 1 with Arixmethes. Nightshade Dryad, that removes a counter. Let's tap 2 for a Copper Mirror, that removes a counter. I think it'll be worth it. I'll tap a blue. I'll go slip through space on my Copper Mirror. It can't attack, but that's actually fine. Is it though? Yeah, I think it'll be fine. On cast, I'll remove another one on counter, or sorry, another slumber counter from Arixmethes, so he's down to 2. I will draw a card, and then I will play Simic Growth Chamber to bounce an island. So I have that. as I didn't miss my land drop. Turn. Oh, no. That's +2. Scry 2. Let's keep this on top, put this one on the bottom. And then turn 6. Untap, upkeep, draw. Land for turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my gosh. No freaking way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is turn 6. Omniscience. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I've got it. I may cast spells from my hand without paying the mana costs. On cast, Arixmethes gets his counter removed. I will cast Fathom Mage for free. And on cast, Arixmethes is now a creature. This is going to pop off. Oh my gosh. Because now, let me do something like Return of the Wild Speaker. I draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures I control. That's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards drawn with an Omniscience. Oh my goodness. This is kid in a candy store kind of level. Oh my goodness. Because here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off with, and I literally just heard someone the other day call this card mid, or something along those lines. Emote, Celebrant of Bounty. Cascade. So this is a 5-cost Cascade. Has spells I cast with mana value 6 or greater have Cascade. So since it's a 5-cost, Cascade is less than, so 4. Ordeal of Thassa. There we go. Now, that being said, Arixmethes did not have an entry effect for Fathom Mage. Emote has not technically resolved, so Fathom Mage will have me draw a card. Ordeal of Thassa, I will put on Arixmethes. That is, whenever enchanted creature attacks, I put a 1/1 counter on it. Then if it has 3 or more 1/1 counters, I sacrifice the enchantment. When I sacrifice the enchantment, I draw 2 cards. Then Emote will enter, and that's a 1/1 counter on Fathom Mage. I draw a card because it got a counter. Then here's where it continues to get gross. Brynlin, the Moon Kraken. Let me zoom in on this boy. Brynlin, the Moon Kraken. When Brynlin the Moon Kraken enters, or whenever I cast a spell with converted mana cost 6 or greater, I may return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. So I'm just going to start wiping the board on my opponent's side. It also doesn't specify that I'm going to be doing it from my opponent's, so I could just do it to my own stuff and then recast it with Omniscience. So right now, I've just kind of got a great thing going. Let me continue with the nonsense, because on cast, that is an 8-cost, so I Cascade. Land. Drawn from Dreams. Now, hold on just a second. Oh, yes, I did draw from Fathom Mage. I'm just in my own world. Drawn from Dreams. So these two will go onto the bottom in their random order. I already forgot. Drawn from Dreams is, I look at the top 7 cards of my library. I put 2 of them into my hand, the rest on the bottom in a random order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a Slindvoda. There's a Body of Research. Let's grab both of those and put them into my hand. The rest of them at the bottom in a random order. Drawn from Dreams goes there. I think that this is the perfect time to cast Body of Research, but before I do, that was the Cascade. So now Brynlin resolves, and he is a 6/8, so that is seen by Fathom Mage. Gets a counter from Evolve. I draw a card. Now let's cast Body of Research. Casting it is a spell with mana value 6 or greater, so I Cascade. That's Trauma Kratos, so that's 7. Void Slime, that is the spell, but because I can't cast it or don't want to, it goes to my hand. That means these two go just like that. Then Body of Research will resolve. I create a 0/0 fractal, and I put X1 on counters on it, where X is the number of cards in my library, which at the time of resolution is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. So this is a 0/0 fractal that gets 65 1/1 counters. And yeah, let's keep going, I guess. I will cast Ornithopter of Paradise. I will cast a Ruined Stalactite, which gives plus, or it's a 1 cost to equip. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and is every creature type. Let's go. Oh, let's see. I can't quite do Slinvoda. Actually, I could absolutely do Slinvoda because you have to kick him to return all the things, so I don't want him kicked. I'll cast Slinvoda. That's a 8 cost 8/8. On cast, I will Cascade. Nature's Embrace. That will go on to Arixmethes, giving him +2/+2 because he is a creature. And then he resolves, putting a 1/1 counter on Fathom Mage. I draw a card. More land. Sweet, sweet. Awesome. Let's do Scrap Diver Serpent. This one I just added because, well, artifacts are very popular, and it's a serpent. 5/5 can't be blocked as long as defending player controls an artifact. And that on cast will Cascade. Land, Arbor Elf, I'll take it. That will be these two at the bottom. And then Scrap Diver Serpent enters as a 5/5. Fathom Mage is currently a 4/4, so this will be a Evolve. I draw a card. And let's keep this going. Threats Undetected. Now this one's a little bit interesting because it's up to an opponent to choose which one I don't keep. Effectively, search my library for up to 4 creature cards with different powers and reveal them. An opponent chooses 2 of the cards. Shuffle those cards into my library, put the rest into my hand. So that will be probably a Denizen of the Deep, a Hullbreaker Horror. So that's 7/11 for different powers. That could be Stormtide Leviathan. And ooh. Now that is kind of a thing, is I'm probably going to be keeping something or another. What's the biggest? That's 7. That's 7. Okay, Deep Sea Kraken. Because it's scary and not scary. It has a huge mana cost. I can cast that for free, but it's probably the smallest of all of them. So one of the smaller Krakens, I guess. Definitely not 0/4 hatchling, but that's not in this deck. Right, so Deep Sea Kraken as a 10 cost 6/6. Or it's more just based off of power. 6 power, 8 power, 7 power, 11 power. That's a 10 cost, a 8 cost, a 7 cost, and another 8 cost. I do not want Hullbreaker Horror. And I do not want Denizen of the Deep for myself. So I will say that those get shuffled back. I think an opponent would agree that just having a whole bunch of, having everything that I have right now bounce and then just be recast and recascaded is probably the worst thing. So either way, that will be then Denizen of the Deep. Sorry, not Denizen of the Deep. I want to shuffle back in. Deep Sea Kraken. On cast, Cascade. Paradise Druid, okay. And then it resolves. It's a 6/6. Fathom Mage is a 5/5. So that gets a counter, and I draw. And then Stormtide Leviathan, which does definitely kind of mess me up because almost nothing here is Island Walk or flying. So it just kind of locks down the board. I could attack before then, but no, I'm not worried about it actually, because I can still attack actually. Anyways, on cast, that is a 8 cost. So let's cascade, land, Sakashima's Protege. All right, I will cast that. It has Cascade. Now, does it have Cascade? Cascade. Because I cast it from Cascade. Spells I cast with mana value 6 or greater have Cascade. So I think that I would just keep on cascading. I think that I would be a Cascade 2, because even though I cascaded into it, it's still me casting a spell with mana value 6 or greater. So on cast, I don't have to choose what it enters as until then, so that will be first Cascade. This doesn't work. It has to be 5 or less. So Growth Spiral I can do. I will draw a card and I can play an additional land this turn. And then this goes to the bottom. Cascade again. Monstrous Vortex is disgusting because that's now cascading and discovering. And then Sakashima will resolve. Entering the battlefield as a copy of any permanent that entered the battlefield this turn. You know, Stormtide Leviathan has not resolved because Sakashima is what it cascaded into. You're legendary, so I was really hoping that it could enter the battlefield as a copy of something as big as Stormtide Leviathan, which this is perfect because it's not legendary, but it can't. So I'll just have Sakashima's Protege enter the battlefield as a Monstrous Vortex. So now, whenever I cast a creature with power 5 or greater, I discover X, where X is its mana value twice. Yes, because it enters as a permanent. Now, Stormtide Leviathan will resolve, putting the 1/1 counter on Fathom Mage. I draw a card. This is all just ridiculous. Let's go this forest as my extra land, or as my land from my hand on the battlefield. Should have done that a little bit ago. Let's go Garruk's Uprising. I draw a card. Let's go Stealth Mission. This is actually going to be amazing. Stealth Mission on Arixmethes. I put 2/1 encounters on target creature I control. That creature can't be blocked this turn. And then I guess I can continue with Voyaging Satyr. That is 2. I don't think that's worth it. No, it's worth it. Scourge of Fleets. On cast, it's a 7 cost, so I will... Well, actually, on cast, there's 3 things. It's a power 6 or greater, so that is Discover 7 twice, and Cascade. I will Cascade first. Elvish Mystic. Now, Discover, which is equal to. That's equal to or less than 7. Plasm Capture, which will go to my hand. This goes to the bottom, and the next time is Denizen of the Deep is 8. Arachnoform. That works for me. So this one goes on the bottom. This one goes onto my Fractal, because if there is one of those bounces like Whelming Wave, I want him to stay around. And then, just before I go to combat, I'll cast Evolution Charm, which you saw with the last game. I'm going to choose the final mode. Target creature gains flying until the end of turn, choosing Arixmethes. And here's where it's funny, I think. Declaring attack with Arixmethes. Because of the Thassa, Ordeal of Thassa, I put a 1 counter on him. And then because it has 3 or more 1 counters, I sacrifice the enchantment, and I draw 2 more cards. Both of them were land, but that makes it a 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That is a 17-17 flying unblockable commander. It had to be flying because of Stormtide Leviathan, otherwise it wouldn't be able to attack. And yeah, that's that. My hand is quite literally Plasm Capture, Void Slime, Consuming Tide. Each player chooses a non-land permanent they control. Return all non-land permanents not chosen this way to their owner's hands. Then I draw a card for each opponent who has more cards in their hand than me. Yeah, right. And a whole bunch of land. Whole bunch of land. And truth be told, this is only turn 6. Another thing I didn't do, which it's not huge. It will just be 1 more draw. Scourge of Fleets entering the battlefield because of Garruk's Uprising will draw me a card. Cool. Just drew into a Peerless Recycling, but there's nothing good in my graveyard, I guess. No permanents in my graveyard besides that Ordeal of Thassa, I guess. Sweet. I think I'm just going to call it and say that it popped off. Thank you guys for chilling, and hope you guys enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed playing for you. Yeah, this is my Arixmethes deck. Alright, you guys have a great rest of your day. Later.